morning and welcome to She Speaks Solution. You are in for a treat on today. We have some awesome panelists who's going to speak to you, who's going to speak life to you, who's going to give you information that's going to prepare you for a brighter future and a great day. Our first speaker, I tell you, is who we call the Medical Moses. I had an opportunity to hear her platform and what she is presenting. Ladies and gentlemen, she's a naturopathic doctor, meaning that she's going to come to you and give you some natural remedies to what we call ancient old problems that we've been dealing with for years. She's going to teach you how not to destroy your body, but to build it from the inside out, depending on what you put in it. We've also heard that, your health is your wealth. Well, now is the time to get a wealth of knowledge and understanding so that you will be prepared for what you need to know concerning what Dr. Jennings Wilkins is getting ready to present to you. I tell you, with over a decade of professional experience in the health industry, she has proven herself, and a lot of the information that she's going to give to you have already been tested and tried. Please listen closely, because what we thought was the correct remedy or the correct answer is not. It's really destroying our body. So I want you to be in tune to what she has to say. There are years and years of practice and research that has gone into what she has discovered and the platform that she's getting ready to give to you all. This is why I like SheSpeaks Solution, because under a normal circumstance, you would have missed the opportunity to receive this information. So get your pen and paper out. Please listen attentively, and let's welcome to the front the one and only, the great. I call her the Medical Moses with her natural remedies. And here's a piece I want you to keep in mind. Your body was designed to heal itself. So with that in mind, we need to feed the body natural things that will help it do what it was created to do. I'm gonna let her tell her own story. If you all would, clap it up or put the clap over in the corner, and let's hear it for Dr. Jenny Wilkins.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. What an introduction. I'm going to take you everywhere I go from now on. So where do I start? I own a functional, integrative, preventative pharmacy and wellness center. And my passion started with a journey of my own. When I was a teenager, all the way up until I was 23 years old, I would get debilitating migraines that were so horrific, where I thought, okay, this is not going to be the rest of my life. And I remember first starting with the NSAIDs, the naproxen, the ibuprofen, the Advils, all these toxic medications, and then my mother taking me to the doctor, trying to figure out a way. People think of neuropsychiatric disorders as just bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. Neuropsychiatric disorders is so much broader. It includes migraines and headaches, insomnia, depression. It's not just for crazy people. And there's a lot of stigma out there currently where people are like, oh, well, I don't want to go see a psychiatric doctor. Or I don't want to go see a neurologist or a psychologist because that's just for crazy people. Well, throw that stigma out, because if you're living and breathing, you have a neuropsychiatric disorder. There is going to be stress in your life. If you have a husband, if you have a wife, if you have children, if you go to church and you're with your Christian sisters, if you go to church and with your Christian brothers, if you're living and you're breathing, you're under stress, and you can develop what's called negative neurofeedback from others. But the Bible even tells us that those types of relationships makes us stronger. Brother sharpens brother, right? Iron sharpens iron. But our bodies tend to degenerate. And if we do not treat it like a car, I explain the body very much like a car. It functions very much like a car. You have to change the oil. You have to put the right type of octane within the car. You have to look at those spark plugs. You have to look underneath the hood. And your car has these warning lights that come up that tells you, oh, time to change your oil, time to get gasoline, time to look at your spark plug, your carburetor, your this, your that. But there's a lot of people in the world, especially in the United States, where we ignore those warning signs, correct? So what I try to teach people is treat your body like a car. maintenance it just like a car. And guess what? It will run more optimally. It will run more efficiently. And these medications that the big pharmaceutical companies, and here I am, I'm a pharmaceutical person. I own a pharmacy. I do everything that Walgreens and CVS does, but my mission is to empower the consumer to take their healthcare and make healthcare great again, right? I hate to say that, but we have to take our healthcare back. We have these big, huge, power, money-hungry pharmaceutical companies, this industry that just is so, here you go. Here's your pink pill, your yellow pill, your purple pill, your black pill, your death pill. And before you know it, you're taking a medication that has a longer list of side effects than it benefits your body. Longer list of side effects, especially these psych medications. These psych medications were not created to take long term. Psychology Today back in 2013 published an article that stated 86 million Americans, 86 million Americans were taking psych medications. Psych medications. 15 million of that 86 million were children ages 4 and 5 years old. 15 million children on Adderall. Adderall. Adderall, if you look at the molecular structure, and I want to educate the watchers, the viewers, because people do not know that Adderall is legal meth. This should be horrifying to mothers and to adults. So when you're giving your child Adderall, you're like, here, I'm giving you the genetically bastardized version of meth. Is that really what we want our children on? Legal meth? And then you have other drugs like Zyprexa. Ritalin is legal cocaine. It's the mirror image of cocaine when you look at the molecular structure. Let's educate a little bit about how Big Pharma makes their money. I know I've been in the pharmaceutical company for years. I've worked for the big pharmaceutical companies. I've worked for AstraZeneca. I've worked for Pfizer. I've worked for Johnson & Johnson. I've worked for all these companies. So I know the crap that they tell us to say when we go into the doctor's offices, right? They only care about the numbers. They only care about the cells. And I worked for Target and Publix Pharmacy and CVS Pharmacy as a pharmacy technician early on. And I watched people degenerate. Okay, Big Pharma genetically modifies naturally occurring supplements that are in our body. So what that means, chemicals that are in our body. For example, let's break it down to something super simple, high fructose corn syrup, right? That's a synthetic form of fructose. And Big Pharma, Monsanto, these companies that just want, better ways to, you can't get a patent on something that naturally occurs in the body. It's like getting a patent on your eyeball. God already did it. You can't patent your eyeball. So they genetically modify it. And that's what they're doing with our pharmaceutical drugs, like the Ritalin and the Adderall. These drugs damage, mamas, if you're listening, it damages the prefrontal cortex of the brain. It damages the basal ganglia. And what that means in layman's term is you're inducing more psychosis and you're inducing more bipolar disorder. The generation of children that are on psych medications from ages 5 to 18, ages 4 to 18, is the schizophrenic generation when they're in their mid-20s and early 30s. So we are creating a population of insane people. Some other studies from JAMA that were out there, JAMA internal medicine professionals, stated that 1 out of every 100 person that you see driving on the road is a psychotic person, has some sort of psychotic disorder. So when you're thinking of these cities, the most angriest cities in the world, like Orlando, LA, right? Cities, even Miami got a top on that list. I think Orlando was the #1 angriest city in the world. What does that mean, angry? So it means that they're suffering from neuropsychiatric disorders, and people don't know what they don't know. And my heart goes out to people that don't know that they don't have to take Adderall. You're not Adderall deficient, Prozac deficient. There's no such thing. You're not Valium or Xanax deficient. I mean, I watch healthcare professionals come into my pharmacy and I see the amount of drugs that they're in, the elderly people that are taking these supplements as well. So what are those solutions? How does one live functionally, meaning evidence-based? How do you feed the body exactly what it needs? Let your food be thy medicine and your medicine be thy food. A wonderful quote from Hippocrates, right? And never has a truer word been spoken. Even in Genesis, God in the Bible said, do not eat food that does not produce or bear seeds. That wasn't for, The population back then, there was no such thing as genetically modified anything back then. That was for today's time. That word right there, do not eat food that does not produce seeds. And what do? We go and have seedless grapes, seedless apples, seedless oranges. Start by making sure your food is not from GMOs, genetically modified organism. Get food that has seed in it. If it has a seed in it, it's a God-given fruit. If it says seedless, it's bastardized. It has absolutely no nutritional value. So when you go to Whole Foods and you see seedless grapes, there is no such thing as seedless grapes. God didn't create seedless grapes. God created grapes with seeds so you can replant it and you can reproduce that plant. But everything, Monsanto keeps trying to bastardize all of our fruits and genetically modify everything in our society. And we have an epidemic of sick people, people that suffer from migraines, from pain. Feed your body cannabinoids, CBD, cannabis, anti-inflammatory, gets rid of migraines, gets rid of fevers. I give it to my children when they have a fever, gets rid of their fever. High dose CBD, gets rid of migraines, gets rid of pain. B12, B6, even looking at your hormones. Have your doctor look at your hormones. Hormones plays a big part in neuropsychiatric disorders. A woman that has high estrogen is not going to be a very nice girl. She's going to be at your throat. She's going to be wishy-washy. She's going to be crying. She's going to be emotional. She's going to want to stab somebody. That's a neuropsychiatric disorder. So if you have a woman that you live with, husbands, if you have a lady that lives with you and she is moody all the time, have her look at her progesterone levels. Progesterone is the natural female Valium. And when you take that pill, it makes your lady sleep, it makes her calm, and she doesn't care about anything else in the world. She's like, okay, baby, do whatever you want to do. I love you. It's amazing how many marriages I have personally saved by balancing out the male hormones and the female hormones. It's phenomenal. And children, mommies that have children, get your children off of Adderall by giving them CBD. 50 milligrams of CBD helps your child to focus, helps him not to feel like he is watching 10, 15 different trains at once, because that's what attention deficit disorder is. Stop giving them all the synthetic sugar, the aspartame, the high fructose corn syrup. Our body has 3 different types of sugars: fructose, sucrose, glucose. And if those are not the 3 sugars on the ingredient label, and write this down, if you're watching and listening, write this down. This is free information that we're here taking our time right now out of our day to empower the consumer, you the consumer. Big Pharma capitalizes on you and wants you sick, fat, obese, diabetic, demented, and cancer. It's a billion-dollar industry. Psychiatric medications currently is worth $800 billion a year that Big Pharma makes on selling Xanax and Valium and Adderall and Ritalin, and that is not the answer. The answer is functional food and functional solutions, meaning what does the body, how does the body's mechanics actually run? B12, essential fatty acids, CBD, balancing out your hormones, probiotics. A fully systemic probiotic manufactures B12 in your gut. B12 is huge for depression. And if you don't have that good bacteria in your stomach, you will be depressed. Drinking alcohol, drinking coffee, that depletes your probiotics in your gut. So I want to empower you guys and urge you guys, to give us a call. We're going to have the solutions. She Speaks has solutions for you, functional solutions. There is a big uproar right now. It's called the medical matrix. There are doctors now that are coming and standing up for you, where we're sick and tired of being puppets to Big Pharma. And we want you to be the best possible version of yourself, because you deserve to be happy. You deserve not to be stressed, right? And you are going to be more productive as a husband, as a wife, as a child, as a friend, as a community member, when your pineal gland is not being deactivated because of these drugs that are causing you not to sleep, to be more moody, that gives you cancer. So you guys can always reach me. You can give me a call. I'm at Age Vital Pharmacy. That's my email. My personal email is jenny@agevital.com. I know I only had 15 minutes, and we have a wonderful day of amazing panelists that are going to encourage you. So reach out to me, jenny@agevital.com. If you are taking these psych medications and you want to get off of them, I have the solutions for you. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was awesome. I need to tell you that Dr. Jenny is not your pop-up. I just popped up yesterday, and I want to fix your problem today. But she is leading in her area and was deemed one of the #1 professions in this particular area.